Ever felt like you're in a battle, but throwing punches isn't the answer? What if I told you the most powerful way to conquer an adversary isn't through conflict, but through a quiet strength they'll never see coming? The ancient Stoics knew this. They weren't just thinkers. They were masters of human nature. They understood that the greatest victory is won not on a battlefield, but within your own mind. Today, we're diving into 13 Stoic secrets to completely disarm your enemy, not by fighting them, but by transforming the entire game. This isn't about revenge. It's about rising so high that their negativity can't even reach you. Stay with me, because the first way is the very foundation of your new unshakable power. First, master your emotions. When someone provokes you, their goal is to get a reaction. They want to see you angry, frustrated, or hurt. Why? Because your emotional reaction gives them power. The Stoics taught that we don't control what happens to us, but we have absolute control over how we respond. Imagine your mind is a calm, still lake. When someone throws a rock of insults or negativity, you can choose to let it create huge, chaotic waves, or you can let it sink to the bottom, leaving the surface undisturbed. By refusing to give them the emotional outburst they crave, you immediately neutralize their attack. You're not suppressing your feelings. You're observing them without letting them take the driver's seat. This calm control is your first line of defense, and it's utterly baffling to someone trying to get under your skin. Next up, the power of indifference. This isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's about strategic detachment. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. Your enemy thrives on your attention. They feed on knowing they occupy space in your head, the ultimate countermove. Show them they don't matter. Don't talk about them. Don't post about them. When they come up in conversation, change the subject. By treating their actions with indifference, communicate one powerful message. You are irrelevant to my peace and my progress." This lack of engagement starves them of the significance they seek. It's like they're shouting in a soundproof room. Their power dissolves when it gets no reaction. The third way is a game changer. Focus on your own growth. Think of all the energy you could spend plotting, worrying, or replaying conflicts in your mind. Now, what if you redirected every ounce of that energy into yourself? Learn a new skill. Start that project you've been putting off. Hit the gym. Read more books. The Stoics called this focusing on what's within your control. While your adversary is busy trying to tear you down, you're building an empire. Your success, your happiness, and your personal development become the ultimate response. They expect you to be weakened by their attacks, but instead, you're becoming stronger, smarter, and more successful. Your progress becomes a silent, undeniable testament to your strength, and it's a victory they can't dispute. Now for number 4. Practice strategic empathy. This might sound counterintuitive. Why show empathy to an enemy? Because understanding your opponent is a superpower. Try to see the world from their perspective, not to excuse their behavior, but to understand its roots. Are they driven by insecurity, jealousy, fear? When you understand their motivations, their actions lose their personal sting. You realize their attacks are not really about you. They are a reflection of their own internal struggles. This understanding gives you a strategic advantage. You can anticipate their moves, and more importantly, you can rise above the personal drama, seeing it for what it is, a cry for help, or a manifestation of their own pain. This depersonalizes the conflict and gives you the high ground. The 5th Stoic secret is to use their negativity as fuel. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote about turning obstacles into opportunities. He said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think of your enemy's criticism or negativity not as an attack, but as free, valuable feedback. Is there a tiny grain of truth in what they're saying? If so, use it to improve. If it's completely baseless, let their negativity fuel your determination to prove them wrong. Let their doubt be the motivation that gets you up early in the morning. Instead of letting their words tear you down, use them as building blocks. You're essentially taking the weapons they forged against you and using them to build your own fortress. Number 6 is simple, yet profound. Live a virtuous and happy life. Nothing dismantles an enemy's narrative more effectively than your own genuine happiness and integrity. People who try to bring others down want to believe that everyone is as miserable as they are. When you live a life filled with joy, purpose, and good character, you shatter that illusion. Be kind to others. Excel in your work. Cultivate meaningful relationships. Your flourishing life becomes the most powerful rebuttal to their slander. They might spread rumors or try to paint you in a bad light, but your actions and your evident well-being will speak louder than their words ever could. It's the ultimate checkmate. They wanted to ruin your life, but instead, you built a beautiful one. The seventh strategy is to let go of the need for an apology or for justice. This is a tough one. We are wired to want fairness. We want the person who wronged us to admit it and apologize. But the Stoics would argue that waiting for this gives your enemy ongoing control over your emotional state. Your peace becomes dependent on their actions. True freedom comes when you release that expectation. You accept what happened, not because it was okay, but because holding on to the anger is only hurting you. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Forgive, not for them, but for you. Let go of the story of what they did, and you take back your power and your peace of mind. Number 8 is to choose your battles wisely. Not every slight deserves a response. Not every conflict is worth your energy. A key part of Stoic wisdom is understanding the difference between what is important and what is trivial. Ask yourself, in 5 years, will this matter? Most of the time, the answer is no. An enemy often tries to draw you into petty skirmishes to distract you and drain your resources. Refuse to engage. By saving your energy for the things that truly matter, your goals, your family, your well-being, you maintain your focus and your strength. You demonstrate that you are playing a bigger game. Your petty tactics are beneath you, and by ignoring them, you show just that. The 9th way is to respond with unexpected kindness. This can be the most disarming tactic of all. When someone expects hostility and you respond with a polite hello, a calm smile, or even a genuine compliment, it completely disrupts their script. They're prepared for a fight, not for grace. Kindness is not weakness. In this context, it is a display of immense inner strength and control. It shows that their negativity has no power over you, and that you operate on a higher plane of conduct. This can confuse them, neutralize their aggression, and sometimes, over time, even transform an enemy into an ally. As Seneca said, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. Number 10. Surround yourself with a strong support system. The Stoics valued friendship and community. No one is an island. When you're dealing with a difficult person, having a circle of trusted friends, family, or mentors is crucial. These are the people who remind you of your worth when you're being attacked. They offer perspective when you're losing it. They celebrate your victories and support you in focusing on your growth. A strong community acts as a shield. It reinforces your positive reality. It makes the enemy's attempts to isolate or belittle you completely ineffective. Their voice becomes a faint whisper against a chorus of support. Number 11 is to practice self-reliance. While a support system is vital, the Stoics also emphasize the importance of being your own fortress. This means cultivating an unshakable sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. Your value doesn't come from other people's opinions, especially not your enemies. It comes from your character, your actions, and your integrity. When you are truly self-reliant, insults don't land because you are the ultimate judge of your own worth. You know who you are. This inner certainty is impenetrable. No matter what they say or do, they cannot touch the core of who you are. Number 12. Let their own actions be their undoing. Often, the best course of action is to do nothing at all and simply step back. People who operate through negativity, manipulation, and aggression eventually expose themselves. Their behavior will create its own consequences. They will alienate others, burn bridges, and ultimately sabotage their own success. If you get into a fight with them, you risk being dragged down to their level and looking just as bad. But if you maintain your composure and your integrity, their toxic behavior will stand in stark contrast to your own. Just be patient, stay on your path, and let karma, or simple cause and effect, run its course. Finally, the 13th and most profound way to destroy an enemy: turn them into a friend. This isn't always possible, but it is the ultimate Stoic victory. It's what Abraham Lincoln meant when he said, "Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends?" This can be a long process, involving many of the steps we've already discussed. empathy, kindness, and understanding. It requires seeing the shared humanity in the other person beneath the layers of conflict. It is the transformation of a negative force in your life into a positive one. This isn't about surrendering. It's about conquering through compassion and wisdom, achieving a resolution that benefits everyone. It is the highest form of strength. So there you have it. 13 ways to win without ever throwing a punch. It's about mastering yourself, focusing on your growth, and rising above the fray. The true victory is not in destroying them, but in ensuring they can no longer destroy your peace. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more wisdom on living a stronger, more resilient life. See you in the next video.